Today, we're going to dig into a promise that is so bold, it honestly sounds like something out of science fiction. This idea that you could become completely fluent in English in less time than it takes to watch an episode of your favorite show.
Yep, there it is. That's the actual claim from our source material. And, in a world that absolutely loves a good life hack and instant results, a promise like that, it's just incredibly tempting, right? It feels like it just skips all the hard work we usually associate with learning something new and valuable.
So that's the big question, isn't it? Is this the ultimate learning shortcut we've all been waiting for? Or is it just some really, really clever marketing? Okay, let's dive into this and try to separate the facts from the fantasy.
First things first, before we can even start to talk about that 13-minute promise, we all have to get on the same page about what we're actually aiming for. What does it really mean to be fluent? See, this is the key. Fluency isn't just about memorizing a huge list of words or knowing all the grammar rules. It's about being able to communicate spontaneously. It's that flow, that ease. It's being able to get your thoughts out without constantly stopping and searching for the right word. And it's not just one thing either. It's a whole collection of skills that have to work together. You've got to speak clearly, you need to understand what you're hearing, read well, write correctly, and then you have to tie it all together in a real-time conversation. Every single one of those skills takes time and practice to build up.
So here's the crucial point. Becoming fluent is a process. It's a gradual climb, not some switch you can just flip on. It's all about making that steady, consistent progress across all those different skills we just looked at.
All right, so now that we have a really solid idea of what fluency actually is, let's go back to that 13-minute promise. Let's put it under the microscope and see if it holds up. 13 minutes, just let that sink in. That's 780 seconds. You can barely brew a pot of coffee in that time. And the claim is that this is all it takes to master an entire language. Okay, let's be generous for a second. In 13 minutes of really focused study, what could you realistically learn? Well, maybe how to say hello, goodbye, and thank you. And that's a start, for sure. But it's a whole universe away from the kind of spontaneous, complex communication that defines real fluency. The gap is, well, it's just massive.
But here's the thing. We don't have to rely on guesswork. There are organizations that have spent decades researching exactly this question: how long does it take to learn a language? So what does the data tell us?
And here is the stark contrast. The Foreign Service Institute, these are the folks who train U.S. diplomats, they estimate it takes over 700 hours of dedicated study to get to a professional working level in a language. So when you put 13 minutes next to 700 plus hours, the promise doesn't just bend, it completely breaks. It's not even in the same ballpark. So if the 13-minute shortcut is a total myth, does that mean fluency is impossible? Absolutely not. No way. It just means we need to trade that fantasy of a quick sprint for the reality of a marathon. So let's look at what a real plan looks like. The real path, the one that actually works, really comes down to 3 big ideas. First, you've got to be consistent. A little bit every single day goes so much farther than trying to cram it all in at once. Second, immersion. You have to surround yourself with English, music, movies, conversations, whatever you can. And third, and this one is so important, you have to be fearless. You are going to make mistakes. The key is to see them as learning opportunities, not failures. And that's really the heart of it. This isn't just about learning a language. It's about a musical instrument, a sport, any skill that really matters. There are no shortcuts. Those quick fix promises are always going to be tempting, but real mastery, that's built through dedication and time. So let's just leave the 13-minute myths behind us. The real question isn't about finding some impossible shortcut. It's about taking the first real step. Maybe that's downloading a language app, or finding a conversation partner, or even just deciding to watch a movie without subtitles. So what's the first step you're going to take on your real learning journey?